shimmering piano chords and Kate's voice just going up and down the octaves.
This seemed to be the weirdest thing I'd ever heard in my life, and just thought, you'll never hear of the artist again, and that will be that. And I couldn't even explain the inexplicable with this one. And then, much to my horror and disbelief and yet strange fascination, it within a few weeks was #1.
Wide-eyed Kate, the nutty white witch of pop, shook the country to its very core with this ethereal and demented smash.
In the era of safety pins and pogoing and gobbing and stuff, she was very genteel and refined.
It absolutely was not cool to be a hippie, but she made it okay. She made it really all right.
Indeed, Kate had cast a spell over those who followed her. But there were more questions than answers.
Who was this 19-year-old girl? Where did she come from? And why was she singing a song about a book by Emily Bronte? And it was all really compelling and sort of fascinating.
Precocious young Kate had been composing songs for years at home in cosy Kent.
She had quite a closeted existence. She wasn't that gregarious, and she was very much influenced by her two brothers, Jay and Paddy. Paddy was a musician and Jay was a poet.
But it was a friend of her brother's, rock legend Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd, who plucked jug-eared Kate from pale-skinned obscurity. He took a fancy to her music and secured a record contract with EMI. At first, unconvinced, they insisted upon a pop apprenticeship.
She had a wonderful 3 years of just kind of goofing around, really, and she did dance classes, and this was all her preparation, really, for actually going into the studio and doing her debut album.
Kate's appeal was widespread, as seen here in her second soft-focus release, which really got trousers twitching.
It was a darker, less obvious kind of sex appeal than is usual for a pop princess. I think a more complex, but a more exciting one.
Outstanding! But this picky really got on Kate's nerves.
Those nipples became completely famous. I mean, they were plastered all over London. You could see them on buses. And she really hated that. She didn't like that at all.
People got my latest hits, because they like my latest hits. And they were trying hard to get inside my Leotard.
Kate was on the warpath. From now on, she was going to do it her own way.
She realised what was going on, partly because her brothers were quite wise to the pop industry. They had, you know, that they knew people in rock and roll.
What do you call it?
It's called Astramento de Porco. That's its real name.
Beardy weirdy brother Paddy was a big influence, both musically and perhaps regrettably in the facial hair department.
It was like half Pan's People, but half Pink Floyd, you know, and there was a bit of Marcel Marceau in there.
It's art, it's ballet, it's theatre all mixed together in one. And then when you watch some of the stuff she was doing there, like all the dancing's like, God, the dancers are rubbish, innit? Like.
It kind of summed up her adventure and aspiration as an artist, and also the strange stupidity that she has. This Keats side of her that wants to do the oddest things.
Kate's next offering included the talents of two equally eccentric artistes. Despite fine work from Harrison Edwards, it flopped. Kate sulked in her Kent mansion for 3 years before bouncing back with her seminal work.
I think she's got a very messy mind, and I think when she organises it well, she makes great music. And Running Up That Hill was that moment when it all came into focus.
The idea of Kate Bush was whimsical, eccentric, one-off novelty hit monger. That vanished, and it became Kate Bush, the one great English female singer-songwriter.
Things were looking rosy as she chalked up a tear-jerking hit with old pal Peter Gabriel.
Don't give up, you're not the only one.
Unfortunately, her next collaboration with a Bulgarian folk troupe was less successful. With her Balkans dropped, Kate had a new porpoise and returned to the charts with this. Sadly, this was our last glimpse of Bush, and she hasn't been seen since.
The silence of Kate Bush now, to me, is very much in keeping with the myth of Kate Bush. And I hope she's silent for another good 10 years and then just comes back with the most extraordinary thing.
At the end of the day, coming up with stupid ideas is better than coming up with nothing, and it's better than just being getting told what to do by your accountant. At least she was crazy. Let's raise a flag for all the crazy people.